Hello everybody, welcome to Sin City Living. My name is Jason, I'm bringing you today's episode. As always, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. We've got a ton of content always coming out. Our usual shout out to our patrons. We appreciate all those tips and support. Hope you guys are enjoying those exclusive videos we're putting out for you guys every single week. And if you check your emails, we did just start a new loyalty program for our patrons. If you're curious about everything, go ahead and check the description down below. And if anybody has any strategies, any questions, anything they would like us to show you or like us to film, please email us at sincityliving.lv@gmail.com. Otherwise, I'm going to get right to it. And today we're going to go over another dealing dice type video. And on this one, we're going to deal with the pass line. We're going to deal with the pass line and some of the common errors. Now, I'm going to adjust this camera real fast. Hopefully I can do it neatly. Hopefully that will stay. Looks like it's going to be okay. All right, so what we're going to deal with, let's go with the 6 and 8 first, okay? Okay, so what we have here is we have some 6 and 8 bets, pass line bets with odds. Now, proper procedure would say that we would always pay the odds, then we would pay the flat bet, then we move on to the next one. Pay the odds, pay the flat bet. Proper procedure is we pay them separately. There is another procedure. Now, break-in dealers at some places are not allowed to do this, which I think is kind of silly because it's relatively basic. But once you've been dealing for a little while, you become more trusted. You get more freedom to do stuff like this. But there are times where you want to do something called totaling. And why would you want to total? You would want to total because you don't want to give a player just a ton of red if up in their rack they already have, say, $200 worth of red checks. You don't want to just keep loading people up with red. And if you do keep doing it with brown or red or white, whatever color your ones are, blue, I've seen it blue. If you do keep loading them up, eventually the box is going to say, do you want to get some of that back? Do you want to start converting them? So the most basic part of that is totaling. And with totaling, what you're doing is you're calculating out the odds payout and the flat bet payout, and you're going to combine them. You're going to combine them, aka total them, and pay it all at once. Now, when should you total? When should you not total? I'm going to show you one of the things that I see that I absolutely cannot stand. So this pays 15, pays 18, plus 10 of the flat bet pays a total of $28, right? I see this all the time. Now, when we total, you should always heel it off directly on the line in between. So that is totaling right there. I totaled it to $28, and then I paid them $28. I cannot stand this. This is actually wrong procedure right there, and what that is extremely lazy. I see it a lot with 10 and 10. 10 odds pays 12 plus 10 flat bet. The total is 22, so they cut out $22, and then they do that. That is an astonishingly lazy dealer. Why is that wrong? Well, let's look at this. So if I come back and I were to pay the odds first, then the flat bet, that's what I would get right there, right? If I do this, did I use any less chips, any less checks? No. They got 6 checks. They got 6 checks. I just made it slightly more difficult to read by totaling it up. There was no reason to total. If there was no reason to total, if you were not saving checks and you total, you are being what they call lazy. You only want to total when it's actually going to save you checks, when you're going to use less checks than you normally would. Okay? And examples of these, 30 back there pays 36. He's got a $20 in flat bets. So one way we could pay this is to stack a white and a green and then size in and size in, that pays everything, and it also starts giving them green. Okay? But I could also total it. 36 in the back plus 20 up front is, anybody? 56. I could cut out $56 and total it. Right there, I'm actually saving checks. Versus paying it with 36 back there and 20 up front, where I gave them a total of 8 checks. By combining, totaling it, I gave them a total of 4 checks. I saved checks. That is an acceptable and proper time to do a total payout, because I actually saved checks. Another example would be back there. 15 pays 18 plus 10 is 28, right? If they've got a ton of red, there is absolutely no reason for me to give them more red, so I could total it up right there. Saves checks. And once again, I actually cut it in half. Instead of 8 checks, they got 4 checks. Now, here's an interesting one. Conversions. Converting up. There's a few different ways we could do these. Some get a little bit more advanced than others. I'm going to leave that bit alone for a minute and go with a few other bets, a few other common ones. Sometimes we want to not just give them green or black or whatever it may be, but we may actually want to get some of the red back. At first we just start totaling them so they get less red, because they're probably going to slowly start losing some of the red. But if you're in a super hot roll, or you've got a player that just suddenly started betting a lot of green instead, getting all this red back could be tougher. So then we can start converting. Converting is a great way to put it. We start converting, we total up, and then we convert. Now, by proper procedure, you should never touch the flat bet. Eventually, when you've been dealing for a while, there may be times where you're going to touch the flat bet, and I am going to show you one of those a little bit later. But the odds are fair game. Okay? So, this is actually a bad example for this one, although it would be a great example for a time I did touch the front, so let me do it this way. We'll start with this one, even though we would pay around this way, but we look at this. 10 pays 12 plus 10 is 22. There's nothing we can do here. We can't total it. 22, we can't save checks. There's absolutely no point in totaling it. But what's 22 plus 5? It's 27. So what if I cut out 27 and I take 5 back from the odds? So I totaled and I took some back. It's converting. This way, I give them green and I take a little bit back. Another common way I see this one is when people haven't seen this one in a while thanks to the loss of the $5 tables, but $5 flat bet plus $10 in odds. Actually, I do see this on occasion with dealer bets. They bet for the dealers. $5 flat bet plus $10 in odds, and I will convert it every single time for a dealer bet because that's just less. That way I don't have to convert it later. So 10 pays 12 plus 5 is 17, right? So I can pay 27 for 10. Now I should show that 10 to the box and before I lock it up. That is converting. It's a common one we used to do back in the days of the $5 tables. Right over here, 15 pays 18 plus 5 is 23. Same thing, I can just pay out 28 for 5. That way I not only give them green, but I begin taking some of the red back. 20 pays 24 plus 10, $34. Pay $34. It's actually not a whole lot. Oh no, there is. This is one that comes up fairly often. 54 for 20. This gives me a great chance to get some back. Great chance to get some back. And again, I'm still only playing with the odds, which is, by procedure, fair game. Now, once you've been dealing for a while, then you might start totaling it a little bit different. You might get a little bit more trusted as long as the box is able to see what you're doing. Okay, 30 pays 36 plus 20 is 56, right? But they've got a lot of red. So I might pay it 76 for 20. No, I'm not supposed to touch the flat bet, but in reality, I'm trusted enough that I can. And the box is watching, sees exactly what I'm doing. When you do stuff like this, when you convert and you take some back, you should talk it out to your players. 10 pays 12, plus 10 is 22. I'm giving you 27 and taking 5. Just talk it out. It doesn't cost you anything to talk it out while you're cutting out the payout and then handing it off. You lose nothing. You lose nothing except the time you would have lost otherwise when the player starts arguing with you, wondering what happened. So just talk it out. Talk it out, keeps it clear. It stops you from having to slow the game down because they're wondering what the heck you just did. Okay? So that is totaling and converting. There's a few others that you can do on the 5 and 9, some really cool ones you do on the 5 and 9. But that is the basics of it and how to do it, when to do it, and why you should do it. I hope you guys find this illuminating. If you're a dealer, I hope you find it helpful. If you're learning how to deal, I hope you find it even more helpful. And thank you guys for watching. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons. We'll catch you guys next time. Bye now.